Hello there everyone, it's TIJ and welcome back to episode 9 of the FM18 base say Liverpool. It's the start today of season 2 and I am really excited to get underway. We haven't necessarily done a lot of business in the transfer window, but we've done a lot of good business, I'd say. There's been a few outs, there's been a few ins as well. So let's have a look at them. The club finances are blooming fantastic. The overall balance is 270 million and profit and loss this season is 195 million. Splendid, absolutely fantastic. I think we just need to get straight into it in terms of transfers, don't we? Transfer history, there you go. So the two you knew about before you left us, if you're watching the series, the one you would know about anyway is Naby Keita. When you start the save, he's coming from RB Leipzig, a top signing, as well as Goretzka, who was coming as well. Now, the big one, and you haven't seen me so excited in months, Fernando Torres comes to the club. Bit of a sticking thing with that though. Basically, Torres said about a week before joining, there was a massive media coverage about it, you know, just saying, wow, Torres is back, this is brilliant. About a week later, he said, I want to retire. And I said, what? You know, you've only just joined the club, surely you could do a year. He said, no, I'm retiring. So, he's retired and he's become the assistant manager for Steven Gerrard at the Liverpool Under-18s. Mentioning the Liverpool Under-18s, how fantastic is this? Will I be able to get it up still? If we go on schedule for last season for the Under-18s. We won the Under-19s Champions League final, which I thought was brilliant. We've an Under-18 squad, so you've got to credit the guys. And Matt Chamberlain was the goal scorer in that match. Only 16-year-old, but look at that, his prospect. Very good rank for the senior team. And at 16, we might have to just give him a look in. And he's younger than me. Yeah, I feel old for once. Yeah, he's younger than me, but oh well. So, I need to continue with transfers before going on to anything else. So, Torres, a bit of a gutting one. For Marlon, we also signed from Barcelona. You'll all know him from his Arsenal days if you're a Premier League fan. A solid centre-back backup for De Vrij and Orban. And to be quite honest, he's better than Klavan. Even though Klavan hasn't gone, he's a better backup. And he's another backup as well at centre-back. We also brought in Javier Pastore from Paris Saint-Germain. Really, another backup player. There's not many first-team players we bought in, but he's quite versatile over the attacking midfield and the general midfield as well. He was only 13.5 million. He's valued at 32.5, so we really think we've got a steal at him there. Then we bought him a young player who I head of youth development looked at. If you want to pause the video here, you can do. But Loic George, 17 years of age in the under-23s, potentially is to be a good or superb rank for the senior team. Last player we bought in then was Diego Jota, or Diego Jota. What's his name there? How do you pronounce it? Someone told me about 10 minutes before the video. I think it's Jota. I think it's Diogo... Oh, God, I don't know. Oh, dear. I'll just go Jota. Jota? I'm just going to get crucified in the comments anyway, but Jota, I'll go with Jota. A sign from Atletico Madrid. If you're an English football fan, you'll know he's at Wolves on loan at the moment. But the thing that strikes me... If you compare Diego Jota with Danny Ings, who, okay, I accept he's not the best player in the world. Look at this. Ings is 5 years older than him, and Jota, I would pretty much say, is on a par with him. Apart from his aerials and his defending, he is pretty much on a par with him. So I can't wait to use Jota this season, and Jota will go for. And he wants to break into the first team, but to be honest, he's already on the subs bench, because he looks like a really good player. Now, a few outs. Simon Mignolet's gone to Lyon. He wasn't being used this last season. Karius was the first team player, so he's gone for a fee that could rise to 16.5 million. We've had a few loans that we don't really need to mention any of real fruition. We've got Solanke going out on loan to Ipswich and Grujic going on loan to PSV, but apart from that, they're all not first team players. Lovren went to PSG for a rising fee of 21.5 million. He wasn't used last year. He only got 9 games last year, just showing how much we didn't use him. So 19 million is quite good for him. Emre Can went for 62 million. They offered me 40 million at first point. And I thought, shall we try and recoup the money we got for Keita? Which, obviously, we've done completely there. 62 million. And I thought that was just about enough to decide for me to sell Emre Can. Now, he didn't use Milner a lot last season. He was complaining that he wanted to leave. 18 games that he got last season. So he's gone to West Bromwich Albion for 5 million. We were paying him a lot in terms of wages. And for his contribution to the team, I don't think it was worth enough. We've also sold Firmino, a really big sell in that. So 159 million we've got in sales. And Firmino's gone to Barcelona for 59 million. He was decent, but like I said to Henderson was moaning after I sold him, saying, how come you sold him? He was so good. And I said, well, to be quite honest, he was quite inconsistent last year. He scored 10 goals, got 8 assists, fair enough. But really, he was our top performing striker because he got the most amount of games with Sturridge and Ings all getting injuries. And I wanted to secretly sell for him all summer. Mane and Coutinho could have gone, but no offers came in for them. And really, the squad has stayed to a par, pretty much the same. Let's have a look at the dynamics and how that's changed. Now, Wijnaldum's gone to a team leader. Torres was actually a team leader when he came in, and then he just randomly decided to retire. I don't quite get that. We've now got the likes of De Vrij on highly influential, and Lukaku for some reason is only on another player. Maybe he is not playing so much. I don't know. But the likes of Pastore, Jota, and who else have we signed? Actually, Keita, Goretzka, and Vermaelen are all in the influential players bar, which is quite nice. But let's get straight into it, folks. The new season. Let's have a look at the friendlies. We've done really well in the friendlies. I did play the first one against, hold on, yep, Salzburg. And as you can see, Torres did start and got a 7.6, but didn't play after that. We won all our friendlies. Ben Woodburn got a goal in there. Joe Gomez got a goal in there. Goretzka got a goal in there. Naby Keita got a few. And it looks like, really, there's quite a lot of goals all round. Now, I'm just trying to look at the injuries. There was quite a few injuries picked up in pre-season. The big one being Divock Origi, who has obviously come back off loan off Wolfsburg, and before joining Jota, or I need to start calling him Jota, Diego Jota. Diego Jota. There we go. Divock Origi came back off loan from his stay at Wolfsburg. I don't know why that's just fitness. There we go. That's better. But he had damaged cruciate ligaments after he played one friendly. So that was really annoying, and he's out for 7 months. We've got De Vrij who's out for 3 weeks, and Ben Woodburn who's out for a matter of days. So the team we're going to play for our first game against Stoke today, how long have we been recording? We've been recording for 7 minutes. I'll try and squeeze the 2 games in for you today, but it might only just be the one. We've got Stoke, and then we've got Arsenal to play in this episode. Of course, because we finished 4th in the Premier League, we do get straight through to the Champions League at the group stage. I did say last time that I would say who won the Champions League and the Europa League. Juventus beat Tottenham in the final of the Champions League, and AC Milan beat Arsenal in the final of the Europa League. So if we look at the competition of last year, the Premier League, this is going to be the last thing I'll do before we get into the game, I promise. We had us, Tottenham, Watford and Chelsea getting into the Champions League, Arsenal and Bournemouth in the Europa League, and then because Leicester won one of the cups, they managed to get into the Europa League as well. So United, as well as Man City, have got no European football. Johan, I can't even pronounce his name, but Lowe used to manage Germany, is the new Man City manager. And at Man United, we've now got Pep Guardiola, which is a bit controversial. The last thing I will say, I keep saying is, Sanchez, I'd keep trying to get Sanchez, but he just wants to go to City on a free. So there's nothing I could do about it, and he's gone to Manchester City. So let's get straight into this game then, folks. Finally, if you look at the lineup today, we've got Karius in goal, Klein, Gomez, Orban and Lukaku across the back, Henderson and Keita in the middle, Mane and Coutinho on the attacking midfield, and then Ings and Sturridge in the attack. Obviously there's only one debutant making his debut today, and one thing I'm going to do, which I've never done, is not put a goalkeeper on the bench. Danny Ward's now our second choice goalkeeper, but because we've got so many good players now, I couldn't just put 6 players on the bench. So on the bench, we've got Vermaelen, Moreno, Wijnaldum, Goretzka, Lallana, Salah and Jota. And of course, 1, 2, 3 of those could make their debuts today if they come on. Notable players to miss out. Pastore isn't quite ready yet. I felt I probably think that Salah's a little bit better than him. But he will come on. He's a rotational player. You know, we've got a big squad this year. So I think we're going to have to use rotational players wisely, because we are going to have to rotate. There aren't going to be many players that are going to now be key players. If we go back into FM... Oh, apologies, folks. It's just gone out completely out of ratio. Apologies for that. But yeah, we are here. 4-2-2, that's all good. And they're playing a 5-2-2-1. Wow. With John Guidetti in the front. So let's go passionate. We should really be winning this one fairly comfortably. There's going to be a few tunnel interviews. Yeah, Javier Pastore's out. Fair enough. And yeah, I'm really excited to start the season. Here we go. We're playing Stoke in the Barclays Premier League. I've said that too many times. I've got lemon and lime squash if you're interested tonight. For this episode 9. We are on the right. Highlights, etc. That's brilliant. The only thing I fear for this, because I've done this on FM before, I've made quite large changes to squads, and it hasn't quite worked out. But hopefully this season it does. And Keita nearly gets his first Liverpool goal within about 150 seconds of his first start for the club. This is looking good so far, though. 3 shots on goal compared to the one for Stoke. Henderson puts it in. Shawcross gets it out now. Henderson puts it back in for Keita. And that's inches wide again. Good to see, though, the centre midfield having a lot of shots and seems to be quite determined to have a go for the goal. Shaqiri puts it in. Ings gets it out for the moment. Can we launch a counter-attack? Sturridge on the ball. Puts it up to Mane. There's a lot of players, a lot of attacking players in this new squad. It's really nice. Mane puts it into Henderson. And it's 1-0. Henderson gets our first goal of the season with Mane being the supplier. And the runner, really, the sprinter on the wing, as you can see from the highlight in a minute. Sturridge gets it. With the pass to Mane being pretty exquisite. I thought that was the manager then running down the sideline. Of course, the linesman. Mane puts it into Henderson. A solid pass through Jack Butland, I'm presuming that is in goal. Yeah, and that's 1-0 to the Reds. Chelsea started their campaign. They started yesterday. It was a evening match on Friday night. And that was 5-0 Chelsea against Middlesbrough. So, unbelievable that is. We just scored our second goal, though. Joe Gomez getting his first goal of the season with Willie Orban providing it. And it's really nice to see two obscure players, really, get goals. You would have thought it would be any of the 5 players, you know, Keita, Mane, Coutinho, Ings or Sturridge. But we are dominating Stoke at the minute. This is fantastic to watch. But we've got Henderson, Keita, Coutinho, Keita. Keita still. Oh, a little bit wide. Not good enough, really, though. But Keita, 6.8. Only a 6.8, actually. That's quite a surprise. He seems to have had quite a good game so far. Huddersfield are winning. They're winning 2-0. I think they're beating Watford, so that's quite a shock to the system. In terms of teams that have come up, I know Aston Villa have come up, just looking at that. Middlesbrough have come up as well. And I believe... Who's the other team that's come up? I can't quite think. But it's not Wolves. That's an interesting one. Wolves haven't come up, but Ings has passed it through to Sturridge. Can he get a shot? What a lovely shot that is. 3-0 up within 32 minutes. And this is where FM18 finally starts to work for me. And another side note as well, I completely forgot about this. Of course, in real life, there's been an announcement that the transfer window will close on the 6th. Well, it's not the 16th, but in the game it was the 16th because it's a World Cup summer. It basically ends just before the Premier League season starts. So when I saw that there was only a week left on the transfer window, I was really puzzled. But of course, that new rule's come to fruition, so that's really interesting. But, ooh, Asamoah had a shot, but Karius just about got to it. Wow, this is a really good start. I'm actually really shocked at how good this start has been. But the only good thing now would probably be a clean sheet. That would be really nice. Quite happy to keep it at 3-0 and get a clean sheet. 13 shots to the 2, which Stoke have had. We're going to go on control and fluid now, see what we can do with that. And all of our players getting at least a 7. This is really good so far. And what a start this has been for the Premier League season. Not going to count Stoke out of it yet, though. Stoke are a good team. I bet they're going to get a goal here. Berahino's through and goal, but a good save from Karius. In terms of a backup goalkeeper, obviously we've got Danny Ward. And the board wants to... Not necessarily the board, that was wrong. On the squad depth, it said that we ought to sign a new goalkeeper. Well, I thought Danny Ward's decent. We've actually got quite a few good young goalkeepers. I'm disappointed with that, however. Eric Peters got a goal for Stoke, and it's now 3-1 on the edge of half-time. Our defensive problems I don't think will ever be sorted out, unfortunately. But we conceded 1, but at the end of the day, we've dominated Stoke so far, so I won't worry about that whatsoever. But it's Villa, Middlesbrough, and Hull that have come up. That's an interesting trio of clubs. Don't get complacent, you know, that sort of thing. And we'll go on attacking and flexible, as we were on previously. If we go onto the proper tactics screen, so we can see conditions and all that, how tired people are. Henderson's at 84, 83 for Coutinho. Is Jota a... Yes, he is. Right, let's bring Jota on. I'm really excited for this lad. And let's see how he starts. He's going to come on for Felipe Coutinho, and let's just see how he gets on. Right, let's get back out on the pitch. Jota has what's the word? Replaced. That's the one. He's replaced Coutinho on the pitch. This is going to be really interesting to see if he can do anything on his debut. It's a little bit like Torres. I'm thinking, come on, Torres, but nothing really come of it, unfortunately. With Gomez, Mane puts it in, nothing comes of it, but Butland does have to scrape it out, and it goes out for a corner. Henderson now on the corner, puts it in. Oh, nothing coming of it just yet, but Ings. Keita puts it in. Oh, nothing coming of it just yet. Will Ings be put out the squad, guys, do you think, by Jota? Do you think Jota will have a really good start? It looks like, though, he's a winger. Oh, Henderson's quite badly injured. 45% he's on. So we're going to take him off. And do we give Goretzka his debut or play Wijnaldum? I think we will wait until the Arsenal game to give Goretzka his debut. I think that's fair enough. And we'll play Wijnaldum as a deep line playmaker. Wijnaldum a really good player, I think. So it's going to be tricky this season. We've obviously got Henderson, Keita, Goretzka, Wijnaldum. Even Lallana can play in that position. So we've got plenty of depth. But it's rotating those players correctly to keep everyone happy. But Keita, Wijnaldum. Oh, nearly a finish. You see what I say about Wijnaldum being a good player? Interesting. We obviously played Stoke in the last episode. I did forget that as well. We played Stoke on the last game of the season. So, I guess Stoke won't be quite happy with us if they lose 2 games in a row because of us. But it's a highlight here anyway. Ings, Wijnaldum, Keita, back to Wijnaldum. Anything going to happen here? Wijnaldum, Mane, back to Wijnaldum again. But Fletcher gets it. Is it going to be a counter attack? If it goes 3-2, I'm going to be a little bit worried. Fletcher puts it out for a throw-in. That's awfully weird. Very weird. Nearly 20 shots. We've had plenty of shots. I'm very happy with this. It'd be a brilliant start to the Premier League season. And some good form as well to be in before we go to the... I think it is the... Yeah, oh, lovely ball to Sturridge. And he hasn't quite finished that. But it'll be a lovely start. And, of course, something and in terms of momentum to go to the Emirates with for next Friday evening's games. That might change things up a bit, but not too much. Not too drastically. A player I wanted to talk about as well is Oxlade-Chamberlain. Obviously, he didn't really fit in too well last year. And with the new additions of players, I was trying to get him out on loan. Nobody wanted him on loan. So I might have to get rid of him permanently in January. He just hasn't done anything. He hasn't had any sparks Liverpool at all. He's 25, meant to be sort of in the peak of his career, or getting up to that now. And to be honest, he's just been a little bit substandard, which isn't quite great. Great. Anyway, Berahino's got the ball for Stoke. Passes it back to Peters. Fletcher in the middle. Bojan, who's just come on as a substitute. It looks like Bojan on the edge of the box. And that's not going to trouble Loris Karius one little bit. We need to make our final sub now. We'll wait till this highlight's over, obviously. But Joe Gomez. Mane. Still Mane. Puts it in. Butland nicely claims the ball. Very nice there. 74 minutes into the game. Let's have a look at OBS. Just check it's all good. 17 minutes I've been recording for, so... If it's a slightly long video than usual, I do apologise for that. But, you know, there's 2 games in there as well as a lot of waffle about transfers. So, you know, it has to be done, I guess, in the first episode of seasons. And then we are going to make our final substitution now. And I think we will give Vermaelen his debut. We'll take Orban off and give Vermaelen his debut. Solid player, I thought, when he was at Arsenal. I don't really remember him at Arsenal because it's been quite a while since he's left, I think. But I just remember him being a good player. And he's better than Klavan at the end of the day. So, that's good. But Vermaelen makes his debut, as well as Jota. I keep saying Jota. It's Diego Jota, I think. Jota, something like that. I can't remember. But, oh, God. Stoke on the ball now. Fletcher. Berahino and Karius gets it. Nice. What was I going to say now? I can't quite remember. We've got a few minutes left in this game anyway. We're going to be third in the table as it stands. There's quite a few injuries and quite a few low conditions for Stoke. I did heavy training on fitness before the season to make sure that minimal amounts of players are injured. We've got 3 minutes left, well, 2 minutes left. Now 1 minute if you want to be really picky left in this game of original time. Seems that Stoke have had the better second half, but nothing happening in terms of goals in this second half. So it's going to end 3-1 to us. A really good start to the season compared to last year's start. Obviously only had 1-1 draw to Watford and then a really bad run of form. I generally think we can win the league this year if we put a good start to the season on the books. So, a good win today. I'm really happy with that. The big crucial game, though, for us, I think, which will probably shape our season for the next few weeks anyway, is the game... Oh, dear. Henderson's out for 6 to 10 days, so probably won't be able to make that game against Arsenal. But, yeah, the game that's going to shape our season for short term is going to be this Arsenal game. Who did Arsenal play in their game? They played against Leicester and won 3-1, with Lacazette getting 2 and Welbeck getting 1. Looks like Lacazette suffered a slight injury, though, there. So he's out for... How long is he out for? Let's have a look at this. He's out for... Oh, we can't have a look. That's a shame. But he's out for a bit anyway, but I'm going to stop rambling because I've rambled on a little bit too much this episode. And I'll see you in a few days for the Arsenal game at the Emirates Stadium. 2 changes made then for the game against Arsenal. We brought Goretzka in as well to replace Henderson, obviously, because he's injured. And then Salah to replace Sadio Mane on the wing. I'm really struggled to keep Lallana happy because he plays in a position that really we haven't got the capability to play in the squad. We could play a 4-2-3-1, but I want to play with 2 strikers at the end of the day. So he's going to be a rotation option, but he might well just find himself behind the likes of Jota this season. But if he can string together a good run of form, and if we got injuries as well, I'm sure he can wriggle his way into the squad. Orban takes the captaincy for today. Obviously Henderson being the captain and Lallana being the vice, and they're playing technically a 5-2-2-1 or a 5-2-3 wide as it's classed on there, and it looks like a very strong squad which they've got. So if we if we go calm, pick up where we left off last time out. I think that's quite simple. Quite rude to get without this game though. This is a big game to start the season off, and if we lose this, I think we're really on the back foot for the next few games. We have got an easier run of form, I'd like to say, in the next few games. So even if we do lose this, hopefully that doesn't affect our form too much. In this episode, I'll also show the Champions League group stage draw, which is in I think it's next Thursday. We're obviously on Friday at the moment, so it's technically in a week's time. But I'll show you that to you this episode. Anyway, we're a minute and a half into the game, and we've got a highlight. Oh dear, Welbeck, nice ball chucked away by Orban. Welbeck's got the ball, puts to Lacazette, nicely put away again by the defence, but it goes straight to the Arsenal defence. Koscielny puts it up, and our defence gets it out for the third time. Can we the third time lucky? It'd be nice. Tierney gets it. Can we do it for the fourth time? I don't think so. It's very scrappy at the start today, but Ozil still. Lacazette, and it's 1-0 to Arsenal. Lacazette does start, and we're going to have to change the tactical, I think, for this match. We're going to go with counter on a fluid system. We're going to have to probably go more direct passing and clear balls out and that sort of thing, because at the end of the day, we are playing away from home. I didn't really put that into our start. My iPad's just gone off. That's interesting. But we really need at least a draw against Arsenal today. We can't really lose. That would not do great wonders for morale. And like I say, it's a really tricky game to start with. But we've got to highlight. Salah puts it in. It's actually Ing that puts it in, but whatever. But Joe Gomez has got it now. Keep the ball. Keita. Goretzka. Keita. Sturridge. Oh, Michael Keane's got it off him. That's too easy. Klein gets it back. Oh, for God's sake. Arsenal dominating. This is ridiculous. Lacazette's on the run now to our defence. Orban gets it back. Really good from our defence, but really close call there with Karius. The defence are just being stupid, though. Welbeck has a shot, and it's 2-0 Arsenal. This is ridiculous. The defence just playing blooming clown ball. That's not good enough. Really not good enough. Right, we're going to have to start hitting early crosses already. I'm not happy with that at all. Not a good start for us there. 2-0 down within 10 minutes. And for us to succeed in this match, to be quite honest, we need to get back to 2-2 within the half. But it's just been an awful start. We need to go on attacking now, because counter isn't going to do it for us. But this is going to be a really mixed episode if Arsenal beat us today, because, okay, we started really well against Stoke, but that's just shocking if we lose 2-0 or even more to Arsenal. We can't get 3-0 down, surely. Karius puts it out. Goretzka's got the ball. Why have we lost it again? We've just got no ball control. Coquelin has a shot, and it's 3-0 to Arsenal. Honestly, what's happened? What the hell has happened to us? It's absolutely ridiculous. I honestly don't know what to do. This is awful. 3-0 down. We had such a brilliant start, and it's just gone completely downwards. Deary me. I wasn't expecting that. I'm just shocked. I'm just speechless more than anything. We've obviously gone with a defensive midfielder now, as you can see. And that was close for Coutinho, so we'll get him away with that. If we can make it 3-1 or even 3-2 before half-time, I'll take that. But if this is 4-0 now, I won't be able to take it if it's 4-0. Thank God it's not 4-0. This is going to be quite the comeback if we're even going to get a draw today. It's just... I can keep saying it's not good enough, and I don't know what I've done wrong. I mean, I'm playing the same tactic we played to dominate Stoke, and it's just not worked. So I've had to change the tactic again, and that is a real shock. A real shock. I've just got no words. We really need a goal, though. That would be nice before half-time. If we don't get a goal before half-time, I think we can say that we're out of the game completely, which I think we are. And 2 minutes left of extra time. I don't know why it's just not going to the half-time screen. But what the hell has happened? Right, we're going to give the players the good rollicking and just tell them, look. Yeah, you know as well that I do that the first half isn't good enough. Show them what you're all about in the second half. And they've had no blooming reaction to that. That's just ridiculous. They're just obviously not prepared at all. Ings obviously had to come off for Finaldum. Let's have a bit of young... well, I think Coutinho's got to stay on, but with only a 6.3, it's quite shocking, to be honest. And we're going to have to look to control the game, go on very fluid, put the ball into the box, play a higher tempo, that sort of thing. And really, just try and get a few quick goals in quick succession. Arsenal won't like that, but... we're going to try our best anyway, but it's been a shambolic game against Arsenal here. I've just got no answers for it. I just do not get it one single bit. Honestly, I don't get it at all. Right, we need to start getting some shots. We haven't had a shot after half-time yet. That's disappointing. Go on, we need a few shots. It's a joke. No highlight just yet. Anything. Right, here we go. Goretzka. Sturridge. Keita. Goretzka. And they've got the ball. If this is 4-0, honestly, they've got the ball back and we're playing awfully. Welbeck's got it. Pass it to Bellerin. That was shocking. But more importantly, that set piece was shocking from us. Goretzka's sort of injured. But we need a miracle here to get 3-3. I just do not get what's happened whatsoever. What a turnaround in this episode, honestly. Massively different. Massively. We will bring on... I don't know. We'll bring on Jota. Actually, no, we won't, will we? We'll bring on Pastore. Oh, whoops. We'll bring on Pastore for his debut. See if he can do anything. And we will also, in that case, bring on... we'll give Jota a chance to do it up front by himself, you know. He's got a good enough chance as anybody else, I suppose. But Goretzka needs to go on maybe a Mazzala with Keita as a roaming playmaker. And I just don't believe this. 3-0 down. It's a big game as well, as I've said before. That's a big talking point, that is. I mean, I said we could win the title. I think the word titles jinxed it for me here. But it's just not good enough. We've got nearly 20 minutes to go. A goal would just justify it, but we haven't had a shot all half. When you're telling your players to push for it, I'm just going to give them a massive shout. Demand more from them. And demand more from all of them, really. It's just not been good enough all round today. It's not really been good enough, and I'll be investigating. But that'll be an inquest, really, after this. There'll be a few heads shaking, especially mine, and a few fans that are really annoyed, which, you know, obviously me being a Liverpool fan as well, I've got a bit of passion in this save, and I'm really gutted. Because it's just not happened today, clearly. Really has not happened whatsoever today. And the game's not even going now. Oh, just to add to my misery, the game's not even going. This is brilliant. No change before full time. 3-0 Arsenal. I'm going to have a real go at them. That is just not good enough. No motivation after half time. And that is quite the shock. A shock for me anyway. A reality check, I think, for me. More than anything. And I'm speechless by that, to be honest. It's just not good enough, obviously. And yeah, Arsenal get top of the Prem. But we haven't had a good game whatsoever. So, oh dear. Crazy. But you've got the Champions League draw next Thursday. So let's forget about that Arsenal game. Let's forget about it for the rest of the series. Hide away from it. And I'll see you in a second for that Champions League draw. Here we are then, the third and last segment of today's video, showing the first episode of Season 2. And today we're going to be showing the Champions League Cup draw. Now, obviously, Chelsea are a top seed. I'm just going to draw the first seeds out automatically, as well as the... Jesus Christ. The second seeds, I'll just read them out. Real, Barcelona, Atletico, Bayern, Napoli, Tottenham, Zenit and Leverkusen. Wow. Of course, Villarreal won the Spanish League. Paris Saint-Germain won the French League. Juventus won the Italian League. And Dortmund won the German League. So that means that all of these clubs are going to be in that second pot. We're in the third pot, along with Monaco, Lyon, Olympiacos, Milan, Anderlecht, Besiktas, I can't say the name, and Moscow. Which one would I like? Probably either B, Villarreal and Zenit. And to be honest, apart from that, there's none other that we... Of course, we can't be in D or G. Let's see who we get. We're not in A. B would be nice. Yes, we're in B. Villarreal and Zenit. I don't know if that'll come back to haunt me. But hopefully we should do alright. What's going to be the strongest group? What's going to be the killer group? Looks like Juventus, Tottenham and Besiktas at the moment, as well as Group H. We're going to get... Victoria Plzen, or Plzen, is that Plzen? I don't know. The Czech club, anyway, in our group, and that's going to be interesting. Watford get Olympiacos, Bayern, and Shakhtar, a club that a group that they could probably qualify from, but that Group H is probably the killer group. Atletico Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, AC Milan, and Copenhagen. What a draw that is. We've been drawn against Cardiff as well in the Carabao Cup, and I'll just show the reaction, some of that. So there we go. We've been drawn in Group B. And we've got to face Villarreal and get a result against them to get past the group stages. So let me have a look when we'll come back. We'll come back then. When will we come back? We will come back for... I'm just trying to have a look. I think what we'll do, we'll come back for the Cardiff game in the Carabao Cup. And we'll also come back for that Villarreal match. So we'll skip the Middlesbrough match in the middle and then play the Villarreal match in the middle after that match. So if you've enjoyed this video, folks, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've watched the whole video, I know it's a long one, but it was the start of the season, and I really wanted to get a big, long video in there. I'm gutted, though, about the loss to Arsenal, but a good start, I guess. 3 points out of 6. You would take it in most circumstances, but what a mixed episode it's been today. Anyway, back to normal now with obviously that day break in between seasons. 4 o'clock for every Liverpool career. I was going to say manager mode. We're not in FIFA 11 now, Toby. But anyway, this is FM18. Liverpool Beta Save, Episode 9. And tomorrow at 4 PM, more importantly, you'll see LFC Beta Episode 10. Thank you all very much for watching. And with a firework I've just heard in the background, happy... Well, it's not Bonfire Night till Sunday, is it? We'll say that on Sunday, even though I don't like Bonfire Night. Anyway, I'm rambling on way too much now. I've been TIJ. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.